Although Kaimere has had multiple waves of hominid immigration, the beings who call themselves Kaimeran and dominate the known world are all descended from the same harvest, which took archaic humans from northern and central Africa between 300 and 400,000 years ago. These archaic humans are very close to us, being either a sister taxon or a subspecies of Homo sapiens. Compared to the average human, Kaimerans are fairly short, have robust builds, and possess proportionally short legs. At some point in their history, Kaimerans were symbiotically bound with the endemic life of Kaimere, which they describe as magic. This magic slightly altered a few features, but the most dramatic change was the slowing of Kaimerans' life cycles. Adulthood is reached around 80 years of age, and many Kaimerans live well into their 5th or 6th centuries. This has made for a very slow population growth and recovery, and their civilizations have not expanded beyond the fairly small region of the planet that they call the known world. There are 5 major culture groups of Kaimerans. Kaleen, children of the sea. A seafaring nomadic people, the Kaleen are the most widespread Kaimeran ethnic and cultural group. The Kenterim can be found on islands north of Kajar. The Tsuhinjin live to the west and regularly sail beyond the known world. The reclusive Tokatan people dwell in the southern seas. The Akanuk are common along the western Kaleen Islands, while the mercantile Eskadin dominate the east and have diaspora in every port city of the known world. Many Kaleen will go years while barely setting foot on land. They are a diverse people but generally share an appreciation for freedom and a love for travel. Most communities welcome travelers from all corners of Kaimere with open arms. Pakardiant, children of the forest. The children of the forest claim to be the first humans of Kaimere and the ancestors of all other Kaimerans. They revere the forest of their vast island, indeed the largest island of the known world, and are notorious among Kaimerans for living among the drakes with their villages surrounded by walls instead of having their entire region fortified. Many villages are suspended in trees overlooking the forest below. They are a generally reclusive people, but hospitable and open once trust is earned. During recent centuries, a united group of tribes has grown into the Pakardiant Confederacy, which now controls the northern range of their island home. Kadanith, children of the stars. In the creation myth of the Kadanith, they are stardust that fell from the sky, while other Kaimerans are made of clay from this world. The Islanders of the Free States, one of the 2 major Kadanith factions, are responsible for opening the portal that was made by the first Children civilization, and trading not only with humans for a time on the other side of the portal in the Plague Lands, but also uniting the known world of Kaimere in a vast trade network. Their tongue is spoken by all Kaimeran ethnic groups as the trade language. Their mainland cousins, the Kajarith, are much more isolated and traditionalist people. The past few centuries has seen a shift from independent fiefs to a consolidated republic of Kajarith lords, although not all parties are happy with this transition, especially since it was put in place by oligarchs from the Free States, who have positioned themselves in roles of great influence in this republic. Shu, children of the sun. For millennia, the Shu were a nomadic people isolated from other Kaimeran groups on the Hausi Prairie. Many lived in the verdant river valleys until years of drought forced their civilization to emigrate. They were led on this journey by a messiah who claimed to be an avatar of the sun. The people of the valley joined the many tribes of their kin, the Dolani horsemen, and these people became the Chakati, the children of the sun. The Chakati reached the crescent and, using cavalry on land and Kaleen mercenaries from the sea, consolidated the largest empire in Kaimeran history. The Chakati Empire now dominates the crescent. Telmeed, children of the mountains. Throughout the crescent are a diverse ethnicity of people who call themselves the Telmeed. The children of the mountains are a proud people who hold tradition close to their heart. For millennia, the people of the Crescent Sea would war with each other, although none of their empires were long-standing. Once the Chakati invaded from the north and consolidated their most recent empire, most of the Telmeed, such as the Zardik, Tristir, Utkubmatir, and Bolondikir, are content with the economic benefits of the united trade empire. The Serid, people of the eastern hills and wetlands, are more outspoken against imperial subjugation, although thus far every revolution has failed. Although there have been conflicts between Kaimeran nations, likely due to their slow aging, they are a generally peaceful people. Killing other Kaimerians is universally condemned. The people of the Free States have made a name for themselves as negotiators, helping to solidify treaties to end conflicts that might otherwise wipe out entire communities, and limiting any colonial expansion after the consolidation of the Kadrith Republic and Chakati Empire. Merchants of the Free States warred and traded with human culture some 3,000 years ago. After several devastating plagues in Kaimere were blamed on trade with Earth, regular trade ceased. The past few centuries of colonial expansion, industrialization, world wars, environmental exploitation, genocide, and plague on Earth has resulted in concerted efforts by the Free States to keep the existence of Kaimere a secret. With all the threats that they face, both existential and natural within their own world, it is no surprise that Kaimerans are generally a cooperative and cautious people. When designing these cultures, I look to real cultures and people who live in similar context to the given group. The Picardian, for example, share many common traits with real humans who live in interconnected villages in a forest environment, such as the Haudenosaunee, many Bantu peoples, pre-colonial Celts, the Maori, and Scandinavians. I try to make these cultures of Kaimere grounded and believable by taking influence from analogous cultures without directly coding for them, as sometimes happens in fantasy world building, which is fine for other projects as long as it's done in a way that is informed and respectful, but I decided against using it for Kaimere, since it wouldn't make sense for the same culture to independently develop twice, in the same universe. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please subscribe and share these videos. It goes a long way in supporting this project and my literary work. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Cheers, folks!